Thank you,
best for
Pascal.
your next session.
Yep.
Take care.
Next session is started. So thank you very much.
Bye-bye.
So basically what's going to happen is that, of course, we know what the session is about. What is it about? Talitha, what is it about?
Mediation, a profession, question mark.
Question mark. The important one was the question mark. So
Yes.
what's going to happen right now is that you people are going to get 30 seconds each, and Loretta is going to start. What is this conference about, Loretta? Please tell us. And then I'll introduce you, you'll introduce yourselves. But first, let's introduce the conference. So Loretta, what is the conference all about?
Okay. The conference is trying to enlighten people about mediation, bringing people in on board, and trying to educate those that are not really aware of mediation and everything mediation. That's what I can say. Thank you.
Perfect. And 18th May to 30th June. Let me also put that across. So Lolia, what is this conference about?
Okay, good afternoon, Vikram.
Good afternoon.
The conference is about mediation. It's about the evolution of mediators and mediation. And that's your mediation vision for 2026. It's to enlighten the world basically on mediation, what mediation is, who mediators are, and what the mission is, you know, in the bigger picture, world peace.
Perfect. Sounds really nice. This is what I'm saying. When someone else says it sounds so nice. So Talitha, what's this all about?
I think it is a platform for different perspectives to be discussed about mediation. Issues which we've never thought about that can intersect with mediation can get discussed through this forum. So thank you, Vikram, for organizing this.
Perfect. So Nanchang, what do you say? Nanchang is, of course, has been a lot of sessions. So Nanchang.
Okay. I will say that the conference is about mediation. It is back the World Mediation Conference, and it commenced on the 18th of May to the 30th of June 2022. We have had many sessions for mediators all over the world, and it is done to mark the birthday of Ken Cloke, which is one of the icons in the mediation world. I think they have, my other colleagues have mentioned other relevant aspects of the conference. Thank you.
Perfect. Thank you very much. What I will also do is, give me 30 seconds to put up the schedule. Is obviously on social media, so people can see the link is there. But how many we have? How many sessions? I think 70 plus already. By Monday, we'll reach 61. So I think, I don't know, is it going to get 8 to 80? Or maybe, I don't know how many sessions. So there's lots to come. And tomorrow we have, these are, of course, legends in mediation, Bernie Mayer and Michael Lang. So you have these people. So please listen to them. And of course, recordings are available on YouTube. Please watch them. So now let's get to Loretta. Please, Loretta, please tell us about yourself. What happened? Loretta lost her voice. Loretta, you lost your voice. And that cannot happen. Now we can hear you. Yes.
Okay. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, everyone, wherever you are joining us from. My name is Loretta Nase Kiawa. I am an attorney mediator, a mediation advocate, and an emotional intelligence expert, and also a community manager. I am the founder of FENA Mediation and Dispute Resolution Services in Nigeria. And I am also a community manager for Resume Badge US. Thank you very much.
I'm sorry, Loretta. This cannot do. I've never heard Loretta in that kind of a tone. What happened, Loretta? Why are you tired? You haven't had your lunch?
It's been a very dull day today. It's been rainy since yesterday. So I'm a little bit under the weather. Sorry about that.
Why do we have to face that? Why does the weather have to be transferred into this place? Keep that weather outside. Don't get it to us. And what about the most
Sorry.
important part, Loretta? I always tell you, what about the most important part, that you're a mother?
Yes, and
Kiki, we don't talk about Kiki.
yes, the most important part. I am a mother to a very beautiful girl. Her name is Kiki. She's somewhere here around, and you'll be seeing her soon. Thank you.
So why do you have to look? Why do you have to look at the weather when you have Kiki there? You look at a
Oh.
nice thing. Look at nice things. Feel happy. And here you are looking at the weather, feeling down. Look, I'm not happy with it. If Loretta's going to talk like that, we'll close the session. We'll do it later.
No,
Back to normal.
It's
Back to
fine.
normal.
Thank you.
Yes, Lolia. You want to tell us about yourself?
Okay. Good afternoon, everyone around the world. I'm here in Lagos, Nigeria. My name is Lolia Diololipo. I am a lawyer. I'm also an attorney mediator and a mediation advocate. I'm a facilitator and trainer, and I'm an entrepreneur as well. Yeah, I'm a mother as well of two beautiful girls. So they're in school at the moment, so I have some peace right now.
Look, you don't understand. That's a very important qualification for a mediator, because that part of what, as a mother, what you bring into a mediation, I think is really important. And I keep saying this aspect of it.
Yes.
That people maybe don't understand that, but it's that basic motherly instincts and the skills that you bring in. I think mediation can learn a lot from that and take a lot from that. So, Talitha.
Yes, Vikram. I am a practicing lawyer from Malaysia, but currently I'm in Singapore visiting family, and it's 9:40 p.m. in Singapore at the moment.
Yes.
Yeah.
But it's everything okay? Your weather's okay? Everything's
well, weather is good. So compared to Loretta, the weather here is a bit hot, actually. Yeah. Oh, I should also add, I'm trying to get qualified as a mediator. So I'm a baby compared to the rest of you here.
Never talk about qualifications on my shows, okay? Please, you don't need any qualifications. If you have the mediator mindset, that's all that is required. Everything else is all okay. Let me not say anything for that. Perfect. Okay. So, yes, Nanchang.
Thank you very much. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, depending on where you are watching from. My name is Nanchang Nangwang. I am a Nigerian. I presently reside in Kaduna State of Nigeria. I am a practicing lawyer and the principal partner of N. Nanchang & Co. He's a law firm of legal practitioners. I am also a mediator. I am a dispute resolution specialist. I'm an attorney mediator. I am the founder of Settlement House Nigeria. Settlement House is an institute that promotes the activities of ADR, the practice, the coaching, the certification, and consultancy in alternative dispute resolution. I'm also a facilitator and a trainer when it comes to mediation and ADR generally. Thank you.
Thank you, all of you, for being part of this. So Loretta's going to open with mediation, a profession. Question mark is the important one. Yes. So what do you say, Loretta? How do you want to start this off?
Okay, so I'll go straight to the point. Mediation, a profession. Okay. So we all know mediation is a process that involves a neutral third party and other parties in a dispute to help them come to an agreed settlement. So talking about mediation as a profession, we know that we have so many areas in mediation. You can be a mediation advocate. You can also be a mediator, and there are so many branches in there. We talk about the family, communal disputes, family disputes. You know, we need people every day in our daily lives to help us resolve disputes. We know that as long as human beings coexist, we will always have conflicts around us. So it's relevant to know that mediators are important in our lives, and that's where the profession comes in, because we know that everybody is a born mediator. We all have those skills inbuilt. We only need to just brush up on other areas to help us become professionals that can resolve these disputes. That's why you talk about the qualities, the good qualities of a mediator. So mediation as a profession, there is a lot more we can talk about. It's a topic that is quite broad, but we can narrow it down to mediators and mediation advocates, because they are the ones that play a role in resolving these disputes. Even though mediators don't make decisions on behalf of the parties, they play a great role by trying to reframe questions and also facilitate the process as it may be. Then mediation and advocates are there to represent their clients. That's the parties involved in a dispute. They are there to represent them and, talk about their they're just there to represent them and talk about should I say their concerns, so to say, to be sure that they are not cheated or treated badly in a way. So as a profession, it's something we should take really seriously, invest time in it, and maybe take trainings there to differentiate us from people who do not know anything about mediation at all. So I think it's something there that we can work on and collectively.
Maybe I started it wrong. I should have first asked you, what is the profession? So now Lolia is going to tell us what is the profession.
What is a profession?
You can Google search it if you want. I'm okay with it. But
I'll just give you off the top of my head kind of definition. A profession, I think a profession is any subject matter that you do in-depth study of, in-depth training on, something that you need to practice intensively to be able to come out on top. So there was something Loretta said about mediation or mediators, that everyone has a natural mediator in them. But before you can call yourself a mediator, you need to go through training. You need to go through intense and purposeful training. And of course, you acquire skills that, take you to the next level. Okay. And of course, I won't mention, but the certification as well makes it even more of, gives it a different standing as opposed to anyone else who can claim to have those skills. You've developed yourself, you've gotten that training, and you've enhanced your skills, and you have the certification as well. I think that takes it to the next level of a profession.
Okay, so what we do is, one, of course, Loretta, about what you picked up from there is that some people have that natural thing. So we'll talk about that. Then you've spoken about training, qualification, certification. We'll talk about that, because there are areas which, of course, I mean, it's an open discussion, but I'll put my thoughts also out there. So Taritha, what is a profession?
Very similar to Lolia's thoughts, actually. So my idea of a profession is simpler. It's something that requires training, and when you practice it, you get paid for it.
Perfect.
Exactly.
Simple. As simple?
Yeah, you get paid.
Yeah, you get paid.
Yes, you get paid. I forgot to add that.
The money.
Then mediation is not a profession.
Well, like you're not working
No.
free, I guess.
Yes, Nanjang, what is a profession?
Well, I can say that a profession is an occupation. It is a trade. It is an activity that you engage in and then you develop expertise in it. You don't actually need any form of certification. You don't need any form of maybe training per se. We have people who have been helping others resolve disputes and they are not even educated. So we have our village heads in the village. We have pastors, we have imams, religious leaders who intervene in one way or the other resolving disputes. So when you do this thing more often, you develop expertise in it. So it can be a trade. Many people all over the world, once they see an opportunity to help people resolve disputes, they put their heads in there. And then before you know it, globally, they are known and recognized, starting from their village. So when there is a dispute, among all the people in the village, they feel, oh, let us go for this person. He has been helping this community. He has been helping these people. He has been helping this place, to resolve their disputes. So I feel a profession it becomes a threat to you when you want to develop and earn from it. So you can go for further trainings, certifications, and the rest of them, but it is not basically a requirement for you to be a mediator. As Loretta has said, you have a family, you have kids, sometimes they have disputes between them, and then you have to stay in between and help the children resolve this dispute without actually showing that you favor one child against the other. You are neutral. That is the role of a mediator. And then we have had a lot of parents who one way or the other have passed the wrong message to their children that they favor one child over the other. So you can see that these are things that we do on a daily basis. Sometimes, in Nigerian setting, you are moving around, you saw two people fighting. Unlike some places where that is your business. You see, you stop, you want to inquire what's the problem. You say, oh, why not calm down? What is the problem? You find out from them. And then one way or the other, you even go to the extent of pleading on behalf of another person. That is the role of a mediator. So to me, it is not something that requires certification except where you need to do it for certain purpose and depending on the area you want to practice. Thank you.
Excellent, Anshang. Really, the kind of thoughts that I was taking it towards, when that's really important, because we have to look at mediation from a very large perspective. And countries like Nigeria, India, a lot of countries, large rural population, what their understanding of, first of all, mediation is, to connect them to that, because we want mediation to develop. And if we have to connect them to something that they obviously are familiar with, and these are the people whom they know, so connect them with these people. And then what is really happening is, on one end, this whole certification qualification thing gets circulated. So these seem to be two different worlds. And we don't want them to be two different worlds, because mediation doesn't take off in that kind of situation. So it has to be one world that, okay, this is what mediators are. Beyond that, I mean, look, if you want to be associated with some institution and you think you'll get work there, it doesn't come, but you think you'll get work there, so you want to do this particular certification. That's your thing. But that's from the user perspective. Is someone who's, like you said, not even educated. I mean, not educated, forget any other training, not even educated, and is doing it very well, is giving the best user experience. What else do you want? Do you want the user to benefit? So those are, I think, the kind of thoughts that we'll be looking at, because Loretta said everyone has that mediator mindset kind of thing. That obviously I don't think is what really happens, because some people have it, some people don't. And what interestingly, what Anchang said, I think really like that part, that in some countries, people actually, if there's an accident, some people with the ones with the mediator mindset will come up immediately. They will, I divide them into three categories. One is the peacemakers. They'll say, oh no, just settle it, come on, don't settle. The other one will attempt to settle it. And then the others who will take sides. So those become the lawyers.
I was just thinking that.
So in an accident only you see that category developing right there. So I think we know those people. We know what those. Now we have to be able to really help put the right people in the right category and take it from there. So my whole idea of putting people into the peacemakers and the mediators, that two categories, is for this reason, that the skill, there is a skill there. As a mediator, there's a skill there. Sometimes that doesn't get focused on, and people say, oh, you just like getting people together. No, that's not good enough. You have to go a step further. So I think I think that's the kind of thing that we're working under. So Loretta, in this background, how do we take it forward?
Okay, so it's a collective work that we ought to do. We have people all around that we can start talking to them about some of these things. It's not something that will be done in a day, like you are already doing right now. This part of the process, this has been able to reach like a large range of people right now. So it's something that is in the pipeline. We are still working on it, and we just hope that things will improve and get better. It's not something to be done in a day, actually.
And any suggestions? Anything that how we move forward?
Yeah, this part of it, well, you're already having like a conference that it's reaching out to everybody. You already spoke about trainings. You are specific about not talking so much about training. So I'm trying to be careful in that aspect, because
Well,
around here, that's the only way you can become a mediator, because I could tell you I'm a mediator without any evidence. I'm not sure you can tell and take me seriously if you know I'm a mediator without any certification or evidence, or even as a certified mediator, if you don't have evidence of work you've done, some cases may not be assigned to you after 2 years or some. If you say you've been certified for 2 years and you want to sit somewhere to mediate, you'll be asked for evidence. Okay, you are a mediator. What have you done in the past? So I just think that certification is very important in this part of the world. I don't think it may be applicable to you, but here in Nigeria is a step forward to that.
Actually, the thing with me, how I'm looking at it is, it's becoming counterproductive. What is really happening is that then you see the other side. You are not a mediator if you don't have those. Now, the problem that we face is we're trying to develop mediation. First of all, those qualifications or those certifications are based on, like you said, on training, based on training. Now, there is a certain lot of people who are giving the training. Their background, their certifications, no one even questions. You don't get into that. So what is the end result or product that comes out is actually, is it even connected to what people want to connect with? Because look, you can create a box, but is that box really helping people? Is that what's helping? Is mediation developing in that sense? Are those people who have those certifications, qualifications, are they getting work? Because look, I talk to people from all over the world. The problem is the world. Certifications are the easiest. That's the only place that people are making money on in this mediation world, and huge amounts of money. And I keep quoting Andrew Miller from the last symposium. He says in the UK, he's quite a senior mediator in the UK, and he says the 18,000 people who have certifications and accreditations there, only 500 have work. These are his words, not mine. Can you imagine the industry on the other side? 18,000 people, and the UK, it's not cheap for those. So can you imagine the industry that you've created there? So you have enough of PR to push this whole concept around the world that this is the way to go. But no, finally, the person, if he wants to earn money out of it, you have to show them the other side, that how is it helping development of mediation? Because the mediator mindset, I mean, Doretta, of course, has heard me a lot of times, I'm sure. If Nanchang is now hearing me on this, Lolia will also give up on some time after hearing this to me. Talita, I don't know about. So you'll keep hearing this. Let's identify those with the mediator mindset. They have the skill. Skill development is not an issue. I mean, with all these things that I do, there is so much content that by itself, this is free resources. You pay for something. I'm not getting into that, please. But the point is, don't say that we will make mediators. My problem comes from there, because then you're getting the wrong set of people out there. And then because of that, mediation doesn't take off, because finally is the user experience. It was all about that. So I keep questioning that part, as to that if the user was having such a good experience, then today in the US, they would not be filing 100 million cases after 45 years of mediation there. There's some lack, something that we have to dig deeper into that. There's some connection lost somewhere. So I think we have to start, the way I'm going about it is identify those with the mediator mindset. Who's going to tell us? Like Nanchang said, there are people in the family or in communities. They're already identified by people. Because when I tell you that, okay, now you want to become a mediator. Some people, they want to become a mediator. So people will put down certain things. Okay, what all active listening seems to come out as the top on that, all those things. But is that all it's about? There is so much more. My symposium in April was heart, soul, spirituality, and mediation. And do they have a role to play? Where does it come on that list? It never comes on that list. So what all is happening? So people who are identified by families and communities, what they have identified them on, we don't have to ask them. They know the end result. They know this person they can trust. So trust could be one factor. Could be the conduct of the person, the impartiality that they see. So that is the right gauge for them to take that person outside as a mediator. But on the other end, when we start pushing qualification certifications, they start moving into a different world. They say these are not mediators. Oh, those are the mediators. So what are we doing? Those people who had the natural ability, those skills, we moved people into a different world. These people might never get that qualification. They might never get that training, that certification ever, maybe ever, because
Well,
I would not want them to get it because of the fact that who's giving it to them? Someone has, the user is saying, I'm getting a very good experience from this person, but no, you are not the gauge. We are the gauge as to who will be your mediator. Please,
Yes.
it is their dispute. They know best how to resolve it. They know whom to bring in. It is their trust with the person, and they're not stuck in the process. They don't, look, trust can go off in 1 second. Maybe one movement of the head by someone, and the trust might go. You move out of the process. You will not yourself not stick in the process. So I think we've created this world which is moved away from, I think, the right people. It's moving away. I'm not saying it is moved because, of course, they're not, and in terms of numbers, not so many in some parts of the world. Like maybe in India, there's nothing much happening. Nigeria, at least, a lot more. Maybe in terms of qualifications and all, lots is happening, definitely. But I'm saying in this kind of a background, Lalia, what would you say? How do we go about this?
About identifying those with the natural mediator talents or skills. I think it's about more awareness. I mean, people don't even know, a lot of these people don't even know it's a skill. They're just it's just inherent in them to be able to listen. And we're talking about active listening. They're just good at it. They don't even know there's anything called active listening. Or able to problem solve or dig deep or ask open-ended questions, So I think it's about more education about, the skill set that's required to be a mediator or needed to be a mediator or called a mediator. If we want to move them from that side, I don't know what we call that side, but that side to this side, where the certification and everything does happen, we need to give them, we need to educate people more. There needs to be more of an awareness, I think, for people to be able to identify that, oh, okay, I do think I have this skill and that skill and so on and so forth. And maybe I do have what it takes. Whether I'm determined, enough to go the next level is up to me to decide. It's up to the person to decide. If they feel that they want to take it to the next level, to make it more official, with certification and proper training on how to apply those skills even better or enhance those skills, I think it does take a lot of educating, a lot of awareness, a lot of information, being passed on globally, basically, because obviously, like you said, there are people who have those skills naturally, but don't know how to apply it in a formal situation. So they do it in their homes, like mothers do it. They do it in their families. They do it in their workplace for workplace disputes. They're the first person people call when there's a dispute. Oh, this person's really good at resolving dispute. Let's call him or her. But I'm sure they don't know that those skills that they have that are inherent in them can be applied under this umbrella of mediation, mediator, and get certification and even get training that enhances the skills even further. So yes, like I said before, I think it's more of, disseminating information, educating people more. I mean, especially like on a platform that you're doing now, this World Conference, Mediators Conference, I'm sure people will pick up a lot of information from that will spark something in their minds about, oh, okay, I do have the skills that is needed to be called a mediator. So all that's left now is making the decision. Do I want to go ahead and pursue a career in this? Do I want to pursue a profession called mediation or be a mediator? So that's what I think, basically.
Look, I'll still keep that question mark there. I'll keep that question mark there because I'll tell you why. Because look, profession, of course, the paid part of it, we want them to come on this side. When you said we want them to come on this side, we want them to get paid for it. But on the other end, the aspect of qualification and training, these are two things which are connected to professions. And I'm saying that if someone has everything going for them, and to say, now I will tell you how to do it because you are doing it very well and you are the best. But no, that's not good enough. Come on this side. We know better than you. Look, the user is going to decide that. The user will do it. But no, I'm okay with it. What you're saying is that skill development will happen. People will pick up.
It's not, so it's not looking at a perspective that we will take you from here and make you better. We already know you have the skills, but just to give you that platform to be able to reach out to more people. So the person is already only working within a small community, their day-to-day activities, that's all they're doing. But if it's an inherent trait in you, if you've got those inbuilt skills, why not just share it? Why not even be on a bigger platform and make yourself more accessible to more disputes?
Exactly. No, that's the point. The idea is that bring them into a world where they are getting paid for it and they understand that this is, look, I don't know what word to use. Is it a vocation? Is it an occupation? What else? I don't know the words. We will find words for it. But is profession the right word for it is what we are looking at.
Oh, okay.
No, Nanchak, first Talita. Talita's coming first. You, yes, Talita.
Oh, I've had so much pleasure listening to all your views, and I think all of you hit the point quite correctly. I think where Vikram is coming from is that all these folks who say this is the specific skill set that you need, therefore you need this certification, it creates a barrier of entry for people who naturally have that skill set but are being told you need this additional thing to become a mediator. So I think if I'm hearing Vikram correctly, that may not be a good thing, and then the world will be deprived from all these naturally born mediators. I do think, though, to play a little bit of the devil's advocate, I think training and qualification is helpful, and especially depending on the end goal of the mediation that the person is going to be undertaking. So for example, if you're going to do mediation in a criminal context, you should be trained and be qualified for that, I would think. If you're going to do mediation between warring states, I do think, yes, a natural born ability will be helpful, but I think it is good to be trained up in certain aspects, like the cultural aspects of the states in question, so that you're more sensitive and more empathetic of what each party is actually experiencing and going through. So I do see that there is some benefit in calling it a profession, but I think there's also a benefit in keeping the question mark there, so that mediation it's a process that can remain flexible, because it is supposed to be an alternative dispute resolution. It's supposed to give a more informal feel to it and to facilitate dispute resolution. That should be the goal. Labels aside, I think we should keep the goal in mind at the forefront of the issue.
Because the thing is, you people are using the word training. And for me, training means putting some skill in someone. And that's why I've been using the terminology skill development. So because otherwise you're telling someone, look, we are putting something in you. But this person, like I said, we don't know what is that we'll have to look for, which is, I just gave you an example. I said heart, soul, spirituality was one aspect that I picked up on that symposium. But the general terms, the things that we use, okay, everyone keeps talking about that. We had one session on life energy and mediation. Now, what is that energy that a person brings into a room? What is that energy that connects people how does that mediator do it? Some people, you can never answer it. You can never answer it. I mean, everyone has a certain presence when they walk into a room. Why? I'm not forget the mediation room. I mean, in any place that you go to, some people have a certain person. What do we put it on? It's something, there is something to it. So does that come in that list? I don't see that coming in that list. Oh, energy, we will test you on energy. We have this meter now. We will put that meter, then okay, you have the right energy. Now next. So those are, what the thing is that we've come down to certain aspects because it was easy to define those aspects maybe. But to go into that, each of those aspects and say, you can't make a person empathetic. It comes from within. The things come from the heart. That's why I'm saying that those things can't be gauged. And things that can't be gauged, how do you then say that we will have a qualification that we will put on something we don't know how to gauge? We will assess you on something that we also don't know what it's all about. It's a person-to-person thing. I keep saying, On one end, if you can put everything, all this into someone, let's pick up a machine. We could have machine learning and artificial intelligence out there. Let's put all that into that. Maybe that machine will become a good mediator. If that is what it's about. No, it's not about that. It's a person to person connection. What connection each of you make with people is very different. We all do not make the same connection with people, and that is what this is, or mediation is all about, being able to connect. So I can't gauge any of you separately and say, no, this is the way you should be, because you would have a different connection from what I have. How do I even assess you? I have no way of assessing you. The user will do it. It's their dispute. They have the way. Now, how do we bring these people out? And because these people have that, because obviously you spoke about you having that, Loretta said, so much, so it's this certification, so much experience, so we'll consider you. But because we've gone in the wrong direction, has become counterproductive. Instead, look, this person in this community is respected, is trusted, has given very good user experiences. That little clip of the user talking about it, those are the things we have to spread, and it'll be good for all of us. Why does it become good for all of us? Because people will start connecting with mediation. And then they can say, okay, let's look at this person. There will be institutions, will put names out. They will connect to people whom they might not connect to in communities. But at least they'll be looking out for something for people because they've connected with the process. Today, we are going out saying mediation, mediation, mediation. They don't know anything about it. They're not connecting with the process. So that symposium, last year's symposium, that mediation in a culture and traditions, the theme was this. People might not be familiar with the word. Connect them with the process, and then mediation takes off. And the right, of course, people with the mediator mindset. And Nanchang has disappeared. Nanchang, are you there? He's pissed off with me. He says, look, you don't give me an opportunity, and I've been dying to speak. Nanchang, come on. Okay, I'm sorry, Nanchang, you please speak. But after unmuting yourself. Only after unmuting yourself. Yeah.
Yes. Yes, I'm here.
Yes, your words of wisdom is what we need now.
Well, what I will say is that, as Loretta was saying, in Nigeria and generally, we emphasize certification and certificates more than the skills required. So, and then we discover that when you go to our communities and where these disputes actually take place, it is not in official settings where you will require maybe official people who are certified as mediators to actually mediate between these disputes. And we also have instances of the practice of mediation advocacy, in the sense that you will see a dispute in a particular community, they appoint one or two persons to go and approach the other community on behalf of their own community, and they discuss and negotiate things. That is mediation advocacy. It's just that currently we have customized it and packaged it, and then it becomes a means of training and earning money and resources, and then it's making it difficult for people to come in. Even someone who is naturally endowed in that area of dispute resolution will feel himself little, or he feels that he does not have the necessary skills because of this issue of certifications and the rest. So when you go to the villages where you have dispute arising, people fighting, killing themselves, we need people who are mediators. And these trained mediators we have in our society today, they will not go to the villages. They have customized houses and centers in the town. And then even if you do, you have to fix a venue for them. You have to pay for flight ticket and all of those things. Dispute resolution is a passion. If you have the passion and you want to help people, you go after them, you go look for them, you offer your services, you help, because you want to promote peace, you want to promote stability in the society. So we cannot just target, or we will just make it so difficult for people and then say you have to get this certification, you must get this and that. And that is how, when you look at our court system, most of the people who handle this dispute is the lower court. When you go to the high court, the court of appeal, it's only matters that started from there. And that is why we are saying these mediators that do not have qualification per se, they are there doing the real work. So if we can give them an enabling environment, if possible, meet them there in the villages, train them. If we feel that there is any need for any skill enhancement, we can give it to them. And that is why organizations like Settlement House come into place. We go for people who cannot even afford these trainings that they are talking about, customized, under institutions and the rest. You give it to them, you train them, and then if they need certification or certificate, give them the certificate. But the certificate is not what actually makes the person a mediator. When you see a mediator, you know him. Generally, you don't even need any explanation. You will see him. See it from his conduct, from his attitude, when he's in a room, when he's in a class, when he's at the road. So it is a way of life. It is not for you to choose when you are going to be a mediator and when you are not going to, you remove the hat and then keep exchanging it here and there. It is a lifestyle. So I feel that if we can do that, it will actually go a long way.
Lovely, Ranjan, lovely. Only thing is, twice you use training. I've got. I have to just remove those two times that you use training, and you said he. We'll have to include other genders. So she also, not just he. We have to have she also. That's the only two things that I found. But lovely. This is the kind of passion we need, and that is the kind of message that we have to send out there. Lovely, Ranjan. I think you've hit the nail on the head. At this point, I think we should just talk about the weather. I think we've spoken about everything, it seems. Vinanchang has summarized it so well. I don't have any other thing that I want to. There is no other things. It's like the speech has ended and now it's only applause that we can give. Lovely, Vinanchang. You've got to put it in the right perspective. This is exactly what I am putting there, and how to bring those people out towards the paid by side. They should be paid, valued by society, and I'm telling you, it helps everyone. Because then people know, okay, this is what you're talking about when you talk about a mediator, because they have a face of a mediator in front of them. Today, when you go about talking about it, it is those other aspects behind the name that you're looking at, and you forget about the person there. And Loretta has never been so quiet in her life for so long. I'm sorry, Loretta, please. Look, after listening to Nanchan's speech, there was speech, I call it speech now. Yes, Loretta.
Okay, so there is one impression I'm going to correct now before we move on. I didn't say people with skills are ignored because of certification. No, I know for sure that already I had skills for ADR, especially mediation, but I wasn't really aware of the intrigues involved in becoming a seasoned mediator or even a mediation advocate until I had to be trained. Okay, let me put it, be developed, yes. I didn't know all these things. So we cannot just rule that out entirely. And for the communal conflicts we have, there are people working on the ground. That's because we have the issue of confidentiality. There are some things that may never be discussed because those issues are resolved there. Those conflicts are resolved there. Right now, we have people scattered around the IDPs because their places have been invaded by Fulani headsmen. And
you'll have to elaborate on that because we would not know the background there. What is that?
Well, sorry. Okay, IDPs, like internally displaced persons. Sorry about that. People that have been displaced from their communities because of farmer headers and clashes all around the nation. I'm talking about Nigeria. So people who have been displaced from their ancestral homes are now living as strangers in other cities nearest to their country homes. So we have people on ground who are on a daily basis communicating with people in the bushes. That's the people fighting over there. There are people who are there, but because of security reasons, you cannot put that out there that, oh, there are people who are negotiating with these people. You have people kidnapping every day. They are negotiating with them. There are people trying to mediate there, but even though they are not, some are trained mediators and some are not trained mediators. So what most institutions or organizations are doing now, they are going to the villages, training the chiefs there. That's the elderly people there who have a voice, who have like followership, and people, they know that people listen to them when they speak. So most times they go there, they train them for free. This is what you call like community service. I know that I was invited for one of those projects sometime last year, but I was not disposed to go for it, and that's why I didn't go. But from the reports we got back, those people were trained, and now they settle disputes. Like most times they just arrange a little bit of a settlement place for them where they go to settle their disputes. And these disputes are settled by their own chiefs. They are familiar with these people. They know the issues surrounding their environment. So it's easier to, reach out to the people, unlike strangers coming to them. So saying people in the cities are maybe ignoring those ones around them may not be correct, because we don't know for sure the things they are doing behind the scenes. So I think I was just going to correct that. And then for the development, it's something that we should all put heads together to do. We cannot do it in a day. That's the truth. I've always said that we cannot do it in a day. I didn't know about mediation. I didn't know anything about mediation advocacy, even though I had the skills. What I was doing, I didn't know it was mediation until it was explained to me. I was made to understand that I was mediating all along. So if we can do that to other people, I think it will help them recognize the skills they have to change it, maybe to turn it into a career or a profession where they can also earn money, because I think that's very important. We all didn't come into mediation to do pro bono and go away. It's also a business for us. It's also a profession for us. So as such, we must treat mediation as a profession, so to say. Thank you.
Perfect. So Loretta, you said that some people are going and training these chiefs. I'm okay with the word training there, so because maybe they don't have the skill. Because
they are developing, let me put it that way. They are developing.
Perfect. I'm okay with the training also. I'm okay with the training word also. If they don't have the skill, you'll have to put the skill in them. Because we had a session in the conference, which is mediators as leaders and leaders as mediators. In the long run, what am I trying to do? Once we bring out these people who have that skill, natural skill, they're in the communities, these people should become leaders. Because the leaders that we've churned out have gone in a totally different direction, and now we have to go back and give them training on how to mediate. No, this should have been that should be what they should have done, and that is what we were discussing in that. Sarah, she's in Australia, she works with indigenous communities there, and she sees that there. I mean, those leaders have that in them. So bring people together, that whole skill that is required. Can you put it into someone? Please put it. We have no problem. Inject whatever with the COVID vaccine, put that also into them. I have no problem. But up till we don't get there, let us just from our side get the people who have it. And that's perfectly all right. They should be paid for it. That valuing by society, we will move in that direction. But I'm totally with Nanchang when we say let's not make it a entry barrier, and also a direction that basically you are not the mediators. Those are the mediators. The ones who are actually giving that user experience is not a mediator, but someone else somewhere has told this person, now I have put this injection in you, now you've become a mediator. I think we have to balance that out. So Lolia, what we'll do is let's just kind of wrap up, kind of closing kind of thing. You can start and then we'll all close. Everyone can close after that. So because we don't, please.
Okay. So, well, in closing, with everything that everyone has kind of said, yes, I agree with everyone, Nanchang, Loretta, Talitha, and as well with you, that yes, there are people who have this innate natural skill, and we just need to find a way to keep them informed, get them educated or skill developed, and bring them to the forefront of dispute resolution. Basically, if we have to tag it profession to be able to do that, then why not? If there's a question mark that still needs to remain to be able to find a good terminology for it, then we will find that eventually. But when we all put our heads together and our hands together and we work towards achieving this unified dispute resolution system where everyone can be inclusive and not excluded, I think, yes, like what you said, it's more beneficial for us who are already in the mediation, business of mediation, or in the act of being mediators, I think is more beneficial in the long run and in the future for everyone. So yes, that's my summary on the topic.
Perfect. Good thoughts. I think really nice. Yes, Talita. Closing.
In closing, I think mediation as a process is so beneficial, from the simplest neighborhood disputes to high-level mediation between states. So I think the more people who can get involved in it, that would be great. As to how we go about it, I agree with everyone here that yes, everyone should be putting their heads together and bringing this to the lowest and to the highest levels, so that the benefits of mediation can be experienced by more people. That would be my closing thought.
Yeah, and I think, look, the point is that it is a churning process. Society will keep pushing up to the top, as to, if you said, between states, they know whom they can trust at the local community level. That will move to the state level, to the nation level, to the global level by itself. It's a churning process. The user getting their experience will do that. I can't today say that, okay, for this nations, between nations, suddenly I'll put another injection and you can do that. It is the same process. It is so those skills that you have, but with more experience maybe, and everyone has a different maybe the kind of disputes that they can handle. So all that will happen. It'll be a churning process. I think it'll happen, but it has to start from somewhere. And I feel we start from the most basic level where those people have that skill. And Nanchang, I don't even have to say anything. Nanchang, that your speech is good. We need to take that clip out and circulate it. But please, if there's anything more, I don't think there's anything more left that you could say, but anything else, please, on closing, what would you like to tell us?
Well, in the aspect of trying to make money from mediation, because I know that it is not something that we will do for free. So, but you see, by the time you get the people to know that this is what you do and you do it very well, and you have the necessary skills to help them resolve their disputes, when they have disputes, they look for you. And then if somebody else has a dispute, they also refer them to you. So I think the important thing to do is to place yourself strategically in that place, even though the money is not coming now, but make sure that you put yourself where they will know what you do, and then offer your services to them in relevant areas. And I think that will make you earn eventually. And then if you look at the rate at which disputes are occurring, and then new disputes emerging, the courts are not sufficient to even handle some of these matters. The causes of disputes, if you look at them, they are all around us every day, every now and then. So if you train yourself in a particular area and you develop expertise in that particular area and you are known for it, you are going to earn from it. Thank you.
Nanchang, one thing that never use the word court here, because now I'll start off. My ranting will start on this. Let's look at it from the court system. We say people say this is a profession. Look at the court system. $40 in Nigeria for a mediation matter. That's a profession. But a lawyer who comes in can charge what they want. Arbitrator can charge what they want. But this is the profession. This is the profession. People are helping people in the court system. Matters are being settled. But it is $40 worth. That's what it is. If that is what it's all about, then that whole paid aspect also goes for a 6. First of all, I'm saying training and all, forget it. Now the paid aspect, what message are we sending out? If we want to call it a profession, if in the sense of what we were trying to put out as what a profession is, that whole basic aspect of it, the paid aspect, we are hitting that first. And then the concept of what is that qualification? Loretta has those qualifications there and we give her $40. Is that the right thing to do? I mean, we're demeaning mediators and mediation by doing that. And you should not ever pick this up with me, okay? One session, 1 hour, I will only be talking about this. So I think by valuing mediators and mediation, I think on the opposite side, don't let anyone devalue it also. Don't let them do it. And the court system, according to me, is totally doing that. Mr. Akesanya, Loretta knows Mr. Akesanya. We had that lecture series that I had. He was giving a lecture in that he was talking about, he goes into the Lagos multi-door courthouse. Of course, he's not going in his gown and robe. He's going as a mediator. He's looked at differently. He's sitting in a mediation. The parties say this guy gets as much as a clerk. What is he going to do? The society values people on money. What else does it do? So what are we doing? This person, Ms. Rakisani, seniority, Loretta knows. And if this is the way people look at him, they've demeaned him and they've actually put him down. So I think we have to reconsider how people are actually affecting if you call it profession, then you're actually hitting at the root of the profession and finishing it off. That discrimination that is happening in court. Lawyer can charge what they want, but mediator is going to get this. So how are you going to take it forward? It's a big issue, but Loretta, is there anything that we have left out, or can I just say bye to everyone? What do you say?
No, nothing really. Just to say that until we start seeing mediation as a profession, we will never really get out of this whole problem. So let's start taking this as a proper profession. We are not.
Loretta, Loretta's got stuck somewhere. But let me say, from whatever Loretta is saying, let's take it as a profession. If she's listening to me, let's all get together and go in front of.
Hello, can you hear me?
Okay. I was just saying that take it as a profession. What we are going to be doing is all of us are going to collect.
It's a collective effort.
No, we are going to stand in front. We are going to stand in front of the Lagos multi-dock courthouse and say, why are you doing this to us? Why are you doing this? Why are you demeaning us? We will all have to get that mediation center either shut down or let the mediators get what the market wants to give them or what market should give them. I mean, imagine senior pieces, that seniority, even say, and these are people who can afford it. It's not a pro bono. It's not like, okay, this person can't afford it, so we're giving them legal aid or something like that. No, these people have businesses, they're running, they have high value disputes happening there. But the mediator should not get anything out of it. I mean, this whole concept we have to, of course, fight. And I keep ranting. I will now start using the word because other people use it for me. Might as well I use it. So, okay. So anyway, we'll close this session. Although I think maybe we can start the next one. But thank you very much.
Thank you very much for having us. Thank you.
Very much. Very nice talking to you. I think we've kind of put it in the right direction. We'll take that discussion further, and I think we're on the right track. Right.
Yes.
So
thank you
very
so much, Vikram.
Thank you.